and making fun of the fact that she's ugly, which she is. What, now a journalist can't call a celebrity ugly?
And you get kicked off
where
of
we've
Twitter
got to?
for that?
In the land of the First Amendment.
Right.
And then, of course, journalists willingly lie, and they, of course, are all friends with people at Twitter. They willingly lie to credulous readers, saying he whipped up a storm of racist hate. It's like,
right.
No, I'm sorry. Do you say the same thing about Justin Bieber when he breaks up with Selena Gomez and has public rows with her, knowing that she's going to get death and rape threats? No. Do you say the same thing to Beyonce when she has a row with Taylor Swift, knowing that Taylor Swift is going to get death and rape threats? No. It's a double standard, and it's only applied to conservatives.
It is.
So to me, the First Amendment means that I should be able to say what's on my mind and not have to put a filter on it. If I have a certain opinion on any given topic, I should be able to say what I want to say and how I want to say it. And other people shouldn't be able to tell me, hey, you can't say it that way, or you can't say that at all, because it's my opinion and I'm allowed to have my own thoughts, even if they differ from other people.
The First Amendment is important because it gives you the right to free speech. I don't think it gives you the right to be hateful and to attack people with it, but you still have the right to say things that you believe in without any repercussions.
It's important to speak your mind. You don't want to hurt anyone or say anything that's foul-mouthed or curse, but you want to be able to speak your mind, have your voice heard for things that are important, like conservative issues for me would be religion, God and country, education, where you were not indoctrinated by people telling you that America is no good. It's a wonderful country, and we're very fortunate to live in this country.
America would not be the same without the First Amendment, especially being a female. In the 1960s, we had our civil rights movement, and that we were able to voice our opinions and our thoughts, and that gave us so many more opportunities.
Without us being able to say what's on our mind, like basically anytime we want, we wouldn't be like America. We would be like these communist countries and these fascist countries where, like, if you even say anything bad, there's a chance of you like facing like severe punishments with like jail time or like even like death or something like that. You are able to speak your mind, and it's just without it, America wouldn't be America.
I don't think a lot of people would have a lot to say, not even only a lot to say, the freedom to say it, of like how they feel, their opinions about things. I just feel like it would be almost like very like a communist kind of like political country. It wouldn't even be existent.
I don't believe we'd be a free society. It would turn into the government being able to pick and choose what you can and can't do. So in a way, I feel like the First Amendment gives the people rights, and it gives them what keeps people humane and human, period. Because without it, someone else would be ruling you.
Social media complicates things way too much. You can say one thing about someone and they can consider it bullying and harassing or basically anyone, and it goes somewhat against freedom of speech. Now, there is different cases where it's something very severe or something like that maybe should be taken seriously, but 90% of the time, people are just overreacting to things and they just need to grow up.
Whatever you say on social media, it can be twisted in 10 different ways. And when writing something, people have to be very careful of what they write in certain contexts because you don't want to offend other people. But then at the same time, you're not being able to express how you feel. Because if you're not being able to express because of how that other person feels, then there is such a blockage between it both.
So when you have these differing opinions, the conflict is both of them are allowed to express that they have different opinions. But at the same time, because it's social media, you can't be telling the other person that they just can't say their opinion outright, because that, again, defeats the whole purpose of the First Amendment.
The reason the First Amendment has been being questioned lately is because the younger generations have really been raised to be super sensitive about a lot of things, and if someone says something negative to them, they're taught to think that that person just can't say that to them, like that's not right. Yeah, it may not be right, but they have the right to say it, and the younger generation just isn't okay with that, and they're not equipped to handle those responses from people that may be negative.
I'm starting to see that more of the millennials and the younger generation are opening their ears and their eyes and listening to some of what's going on. They have to be aware of what their professors are teaching them in school, not only their professors, but their teachers in high school, because in many cases it's very one-sided in what they're hearing. So they have to do research and pay attention to what's going on, because this is their country, and it is a great country. You don't want it to go by the wayside like Cuba or Venezuela or North Korea.
I would basically say that we are very fortunate to be in America because we can voice our opinions without worrying about repercussions, except recently, and we need that to change.
If we keep this up and everyone doesn't stop with the sensitivity, that our America is going to be nothing. And I guess at the end of the day, this is not how our country was built. It was built on morals and rights, and now it's just turning into my feelings are hurt. Like let's look at the bigger picture here, and what you're just a bunch of whiners and complainers. Why don't you be a bunch of doers? Why don't, instead of just sitting back and complaining and not doing anything, why don't you actually get out there and make a difference? Complaining about it and whining that your feelings are hurt all the time isn't going to get you anywhere, and it's not going to make change.